say GS really fast? It kind of sounds like Jesus. GS phone. Jesus phone. Yeah. Hey guys, so I just watched Wwdc today over Ustream and teeny weeny iStrainovision, which was in itself really rewarding. Got to hear Phil Schiller talk before the rest of you. But overall, I have to say I'm really satisfied with the keynote. It wasn't quite as jam-packed with information as it was last year, but it was definitely jam-packed with more products, which is what we all are after, aren't we? So, let's go over this. New MacBooks and MacBook Pros. I wasn't disappointed here. I was actually quite frankly surprised they didn't do a quiet update and actually made an announcement about their plans for these machines. I was kind of mistaken on the approach they would be taking towards the unibody MacBooks and plastic MacBooks. I thought they would be making the unibody MacBook slowly cheaper to replace the plastic MacBook in maybe a few years. But apparently that is not the case. They want to make them more exclusive, so they're calling it the MacBook 13-inch Pro. I think they're throwing the Pro moniker around a little too much. I mean, if they really want these machines to have a Pro mystique, then they really need to give them something professional. And quite honestly, we could find these features in similar computers, it's just they don't have the quite as good build quality and screens. I think that's the only thing that's really setting apart the consumer computers now from the Pro computers is their better screen quality and better build quality, like the unibody designs. They've gone back to the Pro is aluminum and plastic is consumer, except for with the iMac, which is the oddball. I'm really glad that they introduced a lower and 15-inch MacBook Pro. There was a big market for that. My dad actually had that market last year, back in May. He needed a computer to replace his aging Dell, and we had to get a previous generation, June 2007 MacBook Pro, and it cost about the same, but it's much lower spec, of course. What I am disappointed, though, for that model is that it doesn't have the 9600 GT. It only has the 9400M. Not to say it's a bad card, it's just kind of a downgrade from the previous generation of card. Same thing with the iMac, actually. I'm kind of disappointed with the 9400M. I wish it was a bit faster, but you know, what can you expect of an integrated graphics card? I think they're throwing it around too much. They should have had the faster graphics, but you know, there has to be some difference between higher-end MacBook Pros, lower-end MacBook Pros. So it does make sense in a marketing way, but in a consumer way, I'm kind of angry about it. Not really angry, actually, just kind of disappointed. But cheaper computers are always awesome. Pretty much every computer in their lineup got a $300 price cut if it was a portable. MacBook Air is really good deal now, considering it's only $14.99 as opposed to $17.99 it was yesterday. It's going to definitely make it a more appealing competition into the thin light market, and it's really going to set new markets. Okay, moving on. Snow Leopard. I wasn't really expecting Apple to do much with Snow Leopard, actually. I was and I wasn't. I was thinking it would be too much to ask for a good demo of Snow Leopard, but you know, then I was thinking, you know, it's kind of due for a release this year, so they got to do it. So I was kind of torn between two sides for that. But anyways, they did it. I'm so happy about that. They demoed some of the new features, some new intuitive technologies such as Expose, which can be accessed by the dock. Definitely new previews, some speedy things. Safari 4, we all know about Safari 4, come on. And I wasn't disappointed with that at all. The new stacks look really awesome, and since they were limited to, I think, like 16 items in the stack, they're not going to be a little laggy anymore. I mean, when you have like a stack of 100 items now, it takes forever to open up because it's laggy and really choppy in Leopard. So it's definitely an improvement in Snow Leopard. Going through folders is just like was leaked on YouTube maybe a few months ago. So nothing disappoints me here. I'm happy with Snow Leopard. And the fact that it's a $29 upgrade, thank you, Apple, thank you. The fact that it's not on PowerPC, I understand, but people are going to hate you. Anyways, moving on. New iPhone 3.0. I know, I almost fooled you guys there. iPhone 3.0 is definitely not going to disappoint, in my opinion. Push notifications, while late, are going to be appreciated. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a speed increase, too. I've had a chance to play around with the beta on my iPod, and it's definitely a little more speedy, things are a little more smooth. Just buggy, of course. But I think they're definitely going to be much prepared in terms of release than it was last year, because they are releasing it earlier, but they seem to have more confidence in it. And with the larger audience, they better know what they're doing. If they release it and they make the iTunes store crash again, like they did last year, I'm going to be pretty angry. But then again, they're not releasing it on the same day as the iPhone 3G, which is smart. Thank you, Apple, for not doing something stupid. Definitely new features in iPhone 3.0 that I'm always looking forward to. Having Bluetooth on the iPod Touch 2G is always good. Voice recording's nice. And just all those improvements are great. Having music access from applications is going to be a real bonus to developers, especially to Tapulous, who makes Tap Tap Revenge. They're probably going to update or release a new Tap Tap Revenge that lets you play music from your own library and can download the taps from the internet and even use them offline. I'm kind of getting an idea that they'll probably do that. So iPhone 3.0, I can't wait till it comes out in a few days, 10 days I think, I don't know, but it's definitely not going to disappoint. I'm going to be so happy for that. Now the thing that you've probably been waiting for me to actually talk about, iPhone GS. So, what do I think of the iPhone 3GS? Well, I have to say it's an interesting marketing name. GS as opposed to 3G. Well, it is 3GS, but still, it's an interesting name. The S makes sense now. It was leaked yesterday that it would be called the iPhone 3GS, but he thought it was just a code name or something. S stands for speed, makes sense. Now, I have to say I was kind of not disappointed with the phone. It got everything I expected, but it didn't give me anything I didn't expect, which was kind of disappointing. But now I understand the way Apple's making their products. They're trying to go for evolutionary instead of revolutionary. They're ahead of the game already. Why don't they just refine and make it better instead of introduce new things that could potentially just crash and burn? It makes sense from a marketing standpoint, but I didn't get as much wow from this iPhone as I did from the original iPhone, or even the iPod Touch. I mean, oh well. What can I say? You can't really add too much to the iPhone the way it is right now. It's got everything that everyone's complained about. It's got MMS, everything, voice dialing, video recording at really good frame rate and really good resolution. It's 320 by 240? No. It is 640 by 480 resolution, VGA, so that should be good. It's going to be good for YouTube, but I'm surprised it didn't go with a wider aspect ratio. But, you know, what can you say? It's really good video for a phone. The new camera is definitely not going to disappoint. I think it's one of the more advanced cameras, and Apple is one of the first companies to realize this in phones. It's not about the megapixels, it's about what's behind the megapixels, so to speak. If you have a bazillion megapixel camera, but it's a sensor this small, or if you have a really bad focusing lens, you're still going to take a bad picture no matter how many pixels are in it. So, they finally realized autofocus is good, balancing, color correction is good. They finally made a camera that really separated itself from other phones. It might not have the highest resolution, but it's definitely going to have the highest quality pictures, that's for sure. And 3.2 megapixels is definitely enough for what the iPhone's going to be using, web, that kind of thing. So the iPhone is going to be priced at $199 and $299 for 16 and 32 gigabyte resolution, gigabytes respectively. So that's always good. People have been complaining about a lack of a 32 gigabyte iPhone. It's good that they made it cheaper. And they're also keeping the iPhone 3G around, so it's going to be like the budget phone, so to speak, at $99. And everything was just hunky-dory in terms of iPhone, I have to say. I mean, video editing, awesome. Voice recording, voice recognition, awesome. Processor speed bumps, upgrades, more awesome, because the current iPhone is kind of choppy at times. It's really going to separate it from other touchscreen phones as well. I've noticed most of the other touchscreen phones on the market, their interfaces are kind of choppy, sluggish. iPhone's going to be really speedy. I mean, if you look at the second generation iPod Touch, which has like a 33% upgrade in processor speed, I believe, like the internal power is about 33% faster than it was in the first generation Touch. It's definitely a noticeable improvement. So I hope you guys enjoyed my opinion on Wwdc. I haven't been disappointed, and I really cannot wait to see Apple's future. It's going to be pretty awesome, I have to say, and they've got some really good things going for them this year. So, signing out.